have arrived to the fair. I'm not getting out of the car because it is raining. And, I'm here early-ish? Earlier than the rest of my party. But it's so crowded already. And I have to walk God knows how many feet to get to the entrance. I don't think I'm going to be vlogging that much today because I'm more focused on spending time with my friends who came all this way. This might be the only footage I get. Who knows? I don't know.
The next day.
Well, yeah. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. That is the room. New school year, new setup. We got leaves now. I like the leaves. I attended the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair on September the 17th, which was a lot sooner than I anticipated to be going. I had wanted to do a Ren Fair vlog, kind of, ever since I went for the first time last year, because I had a killer time last year. I went with a bunch of friends from college, we saw some cool shows, we visited some cool shops. I met Gabe Hicks, unexpectedly, and he was a cool dude. So overall, that was like a really good trip, so I was thrilled to go again. And then I got a ticket like 2 days before my friends who are from out of town were going, and I was like, sure, yeah. This is gonna be great. Famous last words. It was a fun time, but there were just so many circumstances that led to it being like a could have been better time, which I will go into. I don't want people to think of this as like a Ren Fair guide. I am still very new to this whole fair culture thing. If you want to know like what to do there, I say go watch From the Hobbit Holes channel, because they go every weekend and have been for the past like I don't know how many years, and always have an extensive guide on what things to do at the PA Fair specifically. Should probably start with what I'm assuming was the biggest draw, judging by the thumbnail made for this, which is the fit. I had the like druid floral theme in my head for such a long time, and I am so glad that I pulled it off. I received a lot of compliments, and I'm very proud of how I looked. Just a shame that it got soaking wet. The dress was a little over $40 from TJ Maxx. The shoes, I don't remember where they're from. They were gifted, and I've had them for like 5 years. The flower crown I took from my college theater department's costume rack. I'm gonna give it back, if I remember. I brought the cane along that has the foam dagger in it. I didn't get a chance to like pull it out or anything. It also kind of got stuck. It means I gotta fix that once I have access to more materials. The elf ears and the corset were from Amazon, as were his little light up. Wait, they light up. I have to turn them on. As were the light up potion bottles. This was what got complimented the most. It was my friend's idea. He got a 6-pack, I think? No, it was a 10-pack off of Amazon, and just dispersed it among the 3 of us. And I love them. These are so cute. The gates to the fair open at like 11-ish, and the actual events start at 12. I arrived at about 11:45 and then waited in the entry area for a while for the rest of my party. It was like drizzling on the drive down, and then it started picking up as soon as I got out of the car and started walking. So I took shelter in the winery for a good half hour, I think, until it stopped. And it was nice in there, but I also didn't want to stand in there forever. Met up with the friends, we got in, we walked around. It was still raining, so we went to find an event that had cover, so we went all the way to the back to the ball and chain stage, and we saw 2 shows in a row there, both of which were wonderful. First was a comedian, went by Ménage, was it Ménage et moi or Ménage à moi? I just know it was a joke about a threesome, but he was funny. And then we stayed the hour after that for Taming of the Shrews, which is the drag show. And I went last year and oh my god, it was hilarious that time, and it was just as hilarious this time. I am so glad I got to introduce my friends to that because it was wonderful. They were all having the best time. I was having the best time. Lady Lilith Rose, icon. There was a tarp over our heads, and I think that's part of the reason why we stayed so long there. It only leaked a little bit, and it also didn't cover like in the far back. Like the seats were a little bit wet, so we had to go back to the standing room, absolute state of things. We are soaking wet, are we not?
Indeed we are.
Would not recommend. It cleared up slightly after that, and that's kind of when we started looking for like lunch. I had a bucket of fries, friends got bread bowls, and then we went into the Absintha beer garden. Is that how you say it? Absintha? I'm gonna look that up later, and then like editor me is gonna put it in.
Absinthe.
I also feel like I need to add a disclaimer to this. I just turned 21 years old. 21 is the minimum age to buy and consume alcohol in the United States of America. I know I don't look like I'm that old, but I am. Surprise, I'm not a child. So I figured, okay, I might as well get a drink because I'm of age and they come with the fancy little souvenir cup. So I go up, I show my ID, I get stamped. You could like barely see it, but it's still on my wrist. And I ask her, because I would be driving later and I didn't want to get absolutely plastered, what's the lightest thing you have? And the barmaid is just like, oh, a gin and lemonade. So that's what I order. And I instantly regret it as soon as I take the first sip because it feels like it's burning my insides. I am still figuring out how my body reacts to alcoholic beverages. I'm not used to it, and I don't like a lot of the flavors that I've had so far, which is very few. That was not one of them I liked. I poured it down the drain after like 2 strawfuls, and I'm hoping that I get a better drink the next time I go. So worth it for the souvenir cup though. This is nice. It's a symbol of my regret. The majority of the day was spent shopping because it just wasn't good enough outside to sit and watch a show without getting poured on. There was a total of like 30 minutes that day where it didn't rain, and that's when we took our like Instagram photos and stuff. So we mostly just walked around, checked out some shops we hadn't seen before. It was like a honey place, a tea place, crystal shop where I got some desert rose gypsum. One of the blacksmith vendors had just a cat hanging around, and it was so cute. I was so happy to pet a cat after the day I was having. That was like, I think that might have been the highlight of the day. The most money that I spent on merchandise, because I'm trying to be a little more conscious with it and not spend $80 bazillion on everything, is this really fancy metal dice set. I need to show you, hold on. This is the D20 from it. It's indigo with rose gold lining. It's heavier than any other D20 I own, and it's just so shiny and I cannot stop looking at it. Immediately this one called to me because of the color. And if you don't know and you haven't seen my little D&D character introduction video that I posted back in April, that the character that I'm currently playing is an ASMR artificer named Indigo. So I thought that this color and style was incredibly appropriate for me to wield for them. So once we get games started up again, I'm going to be using this set. I'm so happy about it. This comes from Mystic Mountain Gaming, and I highly recommend buying from them because everything they had at that stand was gorgeous. A little pricey, but gorgeous. Absolutely worth the investment. do it. The last major thing that we accomplished of the day was petting the unicorn. The unicorn stand has 2 of them now, and they both have rainbow manes, and they were so soft. I really just love petting animals, man. Animals are cool. And then, right on cue, the downpour started. There were moments where it was lighter and the rain falling had a nice little ambience to it. It was pleasant to look at, but it was not pleasant to stand in at all. It got heavier and heavier, and at the end of the day, we were just so tired of it that we decided to leave quite early. It is the end of my day. I'm not staying for the joust. I'm not staying for the evening revelry. It's too wet and I am not very comfortable. I'd still say it was successful because I got some cool stuff that I'm gonna put in the review segment of this. I need to get food and get into something warm as soon as I possibly can, or else I'm going to take a point of exhaustion. I actually got lost on the way home because it was so rainy and the temperature did a weird thing and made my car windows fog up, and I took one turn too early because I couldn't see the signs. So a weird end to a weird day, of course. Like I said before, I wasn't entirely focused on getting footage because I just wanted to spend time with my friends. I do apologize for not having a lot of things to show and just having me sitting here talking. You guys probably want to see more action and me making things because that's what my channel is about. Halloween is coming up, and I do have my costume in mind that I'd like to start working on as soon as possible, so that's the thing to look out for. I've got homework to do, so I'm gonna quit filming for tonight. I will leave links to the vendors I mentioned in the description, and I highly encourage anybody in the Pennsylvania or Mid-Atlantic area to go to the PA Renaissance Fair while the season is still open. Okay, thanks, bye.